Okay, ready, set?
Good to
All
go.
right. So again, we're so pleased to be bringing pertinent information to you on things you should know during the coronavirus outbreak. And so we're welcoming Lisa Rehburg of Rehburg Life Settlements today. And thank you so much, Lisa, for being on the other end of the camera with me to bring important information. Before we start asking the questions, what part of the country, what part of the United States do you cover?
We are pleased to be nationwide, so all 50 states.
Wonderful, because we're going out nationwide. We're going out worldwide, but at least nationally, people know that if they need what we're going to talk about, they can get to you. So we're going to ask our listeners for a new word or to know a new word today if they haven't heard it before. That word is biatical. That's spelled V as in Victor, I-A, T as in Tom, I-C-A-L. And you are a viatical broker. What does that mean?
Right. So it's also known as a life settlements broker. And what that means is we help people who no longer want or need their life insurance policies anymore receive cash for those policies. And most people do not know that they can sell their life insurance policy, and they sure can.
Okay, and so that's good. So we're going to get a little detail about this, but with the economy on its ear right now, we might want to know, someone might want to say, where can I get some extra money today? And so the next question that we might ask them is, do you have a life insurance policy? Does that have to be a whole life policy, or can it be a term life policy? Or tell us, what does that mean?
Yeah, anything can be sold. There's the good news. So whether it's a term policy, as you know, that has an end date to it, or a more permanent type of policy like whole life or universal life, or maybe a first to die or second to die policy, sometimes even group policies have the opportunity to be sold. So the whole array, if you will, of life insurance policies have the potential to be sold.
And kind of in a nutshell, so you're the broker, so you have to find, so you examine the life insurance policy. Does it have to be over a certain amount?
Typically, the investor groups that we work with like to see policies over 100,000, but I've just spoken with an investor group last week who is looking at policies of $25,000 or more.
I know,
So it's
because we
great.
sent that to you, and I am so grateful,
Thank you.
as are the people who are thinking that they might be able to get some cash out of this. So, oh God, thank you so much.
Oh,
So
it's our pleasure.
generally 100,000, but 25 can work.
25 has the opportunity to work, yes.
Okay, and so because again we're in this new world, do you think it's going to be difficult to find investors?
No, quite the opposite. There's more and more money flowing into the investor marketplace. And the reason for that is because we are in such a low interest rate environment, they are looking for more opportunities to have a return, but also for them, it's a diversification tool. So you see what's happening in the marketplace, in the stock market. The life insurance settlements market is completely diversified from that. So even more money is flowing into the market from an investor perspective, and that is great for our clients.
Oh, that's great for our community too. Somebody who's trying to figure out how do they pay for caregiving if they need caregiving, or how do they pay for, supplies or whatever it is, or even how do they keep their mortgage going during this time. Hopefully all of those are going to level out. But I think this is such good information. But now again, how does somebody know if they've gotten a fair value?
Right. So because we're life insurance settlements brokers, our job and our fiduciary responsibility is to represent the client. So I mentioned earlier that we have access to about 30 different investor groups, but we don't work for the investors, we work for the client. So what we do is we, for lack of a better word, shop the policy to a lot of different investor groups and drive up the price, meaning that we want to make sure the investors pay the most amount of money for the policy that we possibly can. So we represent the client to get the most money from their policy. And it's really important, I believe, to use a broker who has such access, because if clients go to one investor group, no disrespect to the investor groups, but they're trying to get the policy as inexpensively as possible. So if you go to one, how do you know that you have the best deal?
And that was good. What do we use for comparisons was going to be my next question. Now, does
Right.
somebody have to be terminally ill before they fall into this category?
Absolutely not. So you raised the word viatical earlier. Absolutely right. Viaticals are for people who are terminally ill, have 2 years of life expectancy or less. But the life insurance settlements market is so much bigger than that. Investors are looking for people with life expectancies of 10 to 15 years or less, sometimes even 20. So there's a very, very large market on both sides to be able to help people sell their policies.
So this is, personalizing this years ago. I'm so sorry I didn't know about this, and I'm guessing it's been around for a long time, has it?
It has been legal since 1911, go figure. Most people don't know that. But it really started in the 1980s and has just kind of blossomed into what it is today.
So after my husband died and we had a term policy for $500,000, and I decided that I didn't want to keep it going because it was a term, he wasn't around, and I didn't need that expense. And so had I known today if I had known yesterday what I knew today, I might have been able to liquidate that policy. So I think this is such good information. But again, and how would people find you? I know how they'll find you. They'll find you in our Wellness Village. So once again, to our listeners, the Wellness Village is on our website. The professionals that we're bringing you, the information that we're bringing you today can be found on our website, parkinsonsresource.org. And please go out and find yourself some help. We're here pedaling as fast as we can to bring you these little bits of things you should know now. Thank you, Lisa, so, so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be part of the Wellness Village, Joe. Thank you.
My pleasure. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.